You doing math? I got you. All right, today I'm going to show you how to multiply decimals. It's a little bit different from adding and subtracting, and you have to know the difference. First and foremost, you have to respect this statement right here. That statement right there basically says the number with the most digit goes at the top. Not the bigger number, but the number with the most digit. As you can see right here, this is the bigger number, but I'm not going to put that at the top. This has more digits. Because that number has more digits, I'm going to go ahead and set it up. And when I set it up, I put that number on top. So it's going to be 5.216. That's going to be your first number. Your second number, you're just going to go ahead and write it. It's going to be 8.34 multiplied, right? And so you're going to be like, wait a minute, Mr. Hossain, you can't do that. You got to line up the decimals. The decimals are not lined up. And I'm going to pause you for a second because remember, multiplying decimals is not the same as adding and subtracting. So then what is the strategy? The strategy is you ignore the decimal and then you multiply normally. And so let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to act like the decimal is not there, and I'm just going to multiply like I would at any particular multiplication problem. So with that being said, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 more is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. You know what I'm going to do? That 2 right there, since I already used it, I'm going to cross it out because I don't want to reuse it again. And then I'm going to do 4 times 5, which is 20. I am now finished multiplying the ones place value. I now need to shift over to the tens. And because I don't want to accidentally write the wrong answer on the wrong spot, I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 with a line through it. And that basically means that's a placeholder. So right here, I'm going to put a 0 with a line through it. That's not an answer, it's a placeholder. And now I can go ahead and move on. 3 times 6, 6, 12, 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. Again, I'm going to cross that off because I already used it. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. All right, you'll notice I have just 3 digits right here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 3 lines of code. I need those 3 lines. So what I now need to do is I need to put a 0 with a line through it, not only in the 1 spot, but I also need to put another 0 with a line through it in the 10 spot, because I'm no longer multiplying in that section. I'm now doing 8, right? 8 times the 6, 8 times the 1, 8 times the 2, 8 times the 5. All right, so with that being said, 8 times 6 is 48. Oops, let me make that 4 a little bit better. Better. Then I'm going to do 8 times 1, which is 8, plus 4 more, which is 12. Make sure your numbers are lining up. I'm going to cross that 4 out. Then I'm going to say 8 times 2 is 16, plus that 1 that I regroup. It gives me 17. Regroup again. Oh, God, how did that happen? What? How did it turn red? All right, so like I said, it turned into 17. And then after that, 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 more is 41. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my partial product. So we're going to have 4. We're going to have 4. We're going to have 14. We're going to have 8 plus 8 is 16. So use that double fact. Plus 4 more. Now we get to a decade number. So plus 1 more gives me 21. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus that tiny 2 up there that I regrouped. That's going to give me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something is coming. This part, look, 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. I got to my decade number. Take that decade number, add it to 5. That's how you get that 15. Wait, what? Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Okay, we good. All right, 1 plus 1 is 2, and lastly, nothing plus 4 is 4. Now that is not my final answer. You do this on a calculator 100%, you're probably gonna get those digits, but somewhere is that decimal, right? And so how and where do you put that decimal? This is where I say it's not a big deal, man. All you gotta do is draw your UFO. Why? Because the aliens are the ones that took your decimal. And so from the very first number, how many decimal places did it take? Look, 1, 2, 3. It took 3 decimal places from the first number. From the second number, why am I starting here? I'm always starting on the far right side because that's a spawn point. That's where the decimal is supposed to be. But obviously it's not there. And so then you count 1, 2. It was 2 numbers. So that means the UFO took 2 numbers away from the second one. And so what you do with this simple numbers, you basically add them. Because, you know, the numbers are getting abducted. Because my answer is 5, again, I'm going to put my decimal in the spawn point, and I'm going to bounce it 5 times. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5. And right there, I'm going to draw an arrow. That's where it should be. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my answer as 42.50144. And if you don't believe me, man, just use the calculator.
Yo, show me another way.
The last problem we solved, we used standard algorithm. I'm going to multiply another decimal, but this time I'm going to use area model, and you'll see the difference. And so before I move on and use any type of method, we need to understand the rules of multiplying decimals. And you must use this strategy. In order to multiply decimals, you need to ignore the decimal and multiply normally. And I'm going to multiply normally using the area model. And that calls for a rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. I can make that a little bit better. Draw a rectangle. That's fine. After drawing the rectangle, what I'm going to do is, remember, I'm ignoring the decimal. So that 3.2, I can see that as 32. And so if it's 32, I'm going to split that up, right? And if I write it in expanded form, it becomes 30 plus 2. And if I write 5.26, ignore the decimal, Mr. Hossain. It's not 5.26. It's actually 526. Again, write that in expanded form. That would be 526. And now I basically do my area model. When you're doing your area model, what makes it easy is there's a lot of numbers that are a bunch of zeros. And you just add the zeros on it. And I'll show you the difference. I'm gonna use a different color to show you. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. 3 times 5 is 15, but then you have to add 3 zeros. All right, 2 times 5 is 10, but then you add 2 more zeros. 3 times 2 is 6, but then you add 2 more zeros. And so 2 times 2 is 2 times 2 is 4, and then you add 1 zero. And then we have 30 times 6, which is basically 18 with 1 zero. And then you say 2 times 6, which is 12. And that one doesn't have any zeros. And so once you do this, honestly, you can just add all the numbers up. And when you're adding them up, you can kind of line up the biggest numbers to the smallest numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the biggest number, which is 15,000. Then I'm going to go ahead and do 1,000, or 1,000. Then I'm going to do 600. Then I'm going to do 180. Then I'm going to do 40. And then I'm going to do 12. And to be honest with you, all of these numbers are partial products. And so when you do the area model, yes, it's a lot, but it guarantees you get every single part. And you don't have to worry about, you put a zero with a line through it, a placeholder, and you regroup, put a number on top, put this cross. If you don't understand that stuff, I'm telling you, the area model is the way to go. And now just make sure you add everything up. That'll become 2. We got 8 and 4 gives me 12 plus 1 more is 13. Then we have 1 and 6, that's 7, plus 1 more is 8. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus nothing is 1. Now remember, this is not the final answer. That problem, the final answer to that problem would have been, if my problem said 32 times 526, that would equal that number right there. But remember, these aren't regular numbers, these are decimals, right? And so remember how we ignore the decimal and then we multiply normally? When you open your eyes, oh no, I think they're here. Guys, I think they're actually here. I think they're actually here. Oh my God. Well, I don't see them. Oh my God. I don't know where they are. Maybe if I look up, I might see them. Just look up. Oh my God. Shh. Please don't make any noise. The aliens are here. Oh God. I think they're getting closer.
Look at the ring on top. Here I am.
What is happening? What is happening? Okay, the light is gone. Maybe I'm sick. Oh no. I'm being beamed. No, please. I don't want to go. Like I said, when you open your eyes, you realize that the decimal point needs to go somewhere. So then what you would do is you would go all the way to your numbers and you ask yourself, how many decimal places were they shifted over? For this first number, you'll notice it was shifted 1 time. For the second factor, you'll notice it was shifted 2 times. How do I know this? I'm starting at the far right side. 1 time, 2 times. And so 1 plus 2 is 3. Therefore, I need to bounce the decimal 3 times. My final answer is 16 and 832 thousandths.